Hi, Kasia Avery here, and today I would like to share with you a mixed media process to create a distressed wall effect for your art journal. We are going to start off with a stencil. Really any fine pattern will do. I grab my palette knife and I'm applying a very thin layer of modeling paste through the stencil. I just put a piece of paper under my pages just to protect the rest of my book. If it's about the pattern and a stencil, I don't really want to be very precise. I put the pattern very randomly, and in a minute you'll see that I am also taking off a little bit of it just because I don't want it to look so perfect. I want it to look a bit more random. Now, because it needs a few moments to dry, I will put some dark distress ink, dark brown, to the edges of my butterflies. These butterflies will be my focal point. So adding this ink will make them pop. It will draw some attention to them. Okay, this should be dry now, so I can start mixing some colors. I just have a piece of paper here that I will use as my palette. I've chosen three colors of acrylics: violet, red and yellow, and also my neutral, which is Naples yellow. So this one's very important, that will build our background. And in the middle I squeeze out a bit of white, actually quite a lot of white. I grab a paintbrush, and it's very important that this paintbrush is dry. I mix some of this Naples yellow with white, and I apply it on my pages quite randomly, once again. I am really mixing these two colors almost straight on my paper. I'm not very precise, once again. I'm trying to get into this pattern a little bit from time to time, but it's not really about covering the whole page with a thin and even layer of paint. It's more about being random and creating this natural, raw looking effect. Now I'm mixing a bit of yellow with this white and applying it as well. Not as much as Naples yellow. Same about red. I'm almost letting these colors mix on the paper, so I'm getting really nice salmon-like color. Please notice how dry the paintbrush is. I'm not dipping it in water at all, and thanks to that I'm getting these brush strokes, which are really important for this distress wall effect. I decided I won't be using this violet. I am adding some more of this pure white just to bring some light to this page. Now I am going to do exactly the same on the opposite page. So first starting with my neutral, which is Naples yellow with white, covering almost the whole page. Here's a little accident. I accidentally put some of this violet on my page, but that's no problem. This is acrylics, so I'll just let it dry and I'll cover it with a layer of Naples yellow with white. Once again I'm adding a bit of cadmium yellow and my red, blending it all together with addition of white or Naples yellow plus white. Now that my purple bit is dry, I can cover it with my mix of colors. I'll let it dry and I'll cover it with another layer of Naples yellow and white again. So that to me looks quite good. Now for the next step, we're going to need either a catalyst tool like mine, or an old credit card, or a palette knife, and I am applying white paint, simply just smudging. So it's a very thin layer. It dries almost immediately, but still I want to blend it in a little bit, so we have these rough edges and a little softer edges here and there. So if the paint is so dry that you can't blend it in with your finger, then you can dip your finger in some water and do it then. It should work very well. Now I let it dry, and I am going to do almost exactly the same, but with my mix of Naples yellow and white. So I'm using palette knife this time, just because it's easier for color mixing. And I'm applying a little thicker layer of paint, and almost immediately I'm scraping it off. So some of it's already dry, so it stays on, but some of it I am able to scrape off. So that brings another layer to our work. It looks very natural and raw, and it gave it a lot of depth in my opinion. So now, before I move on to another step, I just want to roughly see where my focal point is going to be. I will be using some soft pastels to bring a bit of dirt to my distressed wall. I want to roughly mark where my focal point is going to be, just to know the colors. And I am choosing a green soft pastel because I think that goes quite well with these colors. And I am using the side of it, maybe and the side, to apply the pastel, and I'm smudging it, rubbing it in with my fingers as I go. I'm adding another color. This is actually very similar to my Naples yellow, so that will bring another layer of different medium to our work, but still it will go with the rest of colors, and it will still look very coherent. If you feel like you added a bit too much of your pastel here and there, you can easily wipe it off with a damp cloth. I will also use some white pastel just to bring some extra light to this page. These are soft pastels, so every time you touch them, it's gonna come off. So you really need to fix it. I'm using spray fixative. Simply just spray it evenly on your work and let it dry for a few minutes. Time to glue our butterflies on. I am using gel medium as my glue, but any glue stick really will work just fine. I don't want to have them in a straight line, so I am placing them a little bit more randomly, so it looks like they are flying away. And now, to bring some final contrast, I am going to use a black ink and a nib to give an outline to my butterflies, and also, as you will see in a minute, to connect them, because I just felt like they should be connected. But of course our distressed wall is now finished. That's the background. All I'm doing now is working with my focal point. You can add any focal point you like. You can add some scribbling, writing, drawing, doodling, whatever you like. I just chosen butterflies. I am also going to add a little bit of my own journaling, some writing, because this is our journal page, you know, you want it to be about something, you want it to tell a story, maybe express your own emotions. I think that's very important. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this technique and I hope that you will try it yourself. Please remember to choose any colors you like and definitely have some fun.